losers top 8 qualifier with Mr.L, who we are now getting to see. And I knew it. Is this Mr. So this is Mr.L. I know. I was positive there was a Mr.L that played Pikachu. I just didn't realize you lived in this area. But anyways, we are getting Mr.L versus Petrikov.
Well, this is going to be interesting.
Yeah, these are characters, well, Diddy anyways, who's kind of been on the up and up, so to speak. He is kind of one of those low-key, like people think he's good, some people think he's bad kind of character, but we'll see here what Petrikov could do with him. Pikachu is amongst the top tiers and definitely a character that needs to be dealt with.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about characters that are have weirdly similar paths throughout this game, and even the game prior, where they were indisputably among the best in that that Smash 4 had to offer. Pikachu is debatable, Diddy was not. But then you also have them kind of losing their roles at the beginning of Smash Ultimate to characters that people kind of thought just did their job better. Diddy, I mean, people basically said that Inkling took Diddy's spot, where you basically had Diddy's fare as eventually Pikachu takes that first stock. And people did play Pikachu those first couple of months, but you saw more and more of them go to Pichu just because Pichu was smaller, maybe a little faster. Like, it was that was kind of the stance of all of it. And now you have people coming back to Pikachu and coming back to Diddy, and yes, they've received improvements, but it seems like, I mean, Diddy especially, it's been a borderline renaissance with this character in Ultimate.
Well, the thing is I think a lot of people were playing Pichu until that nerf hit, and that nerf hit pretty early on, really, because that basically made Pichu a little less viable, but Pikachu still has all of a lot of the positives Pichu had, except for gets, and he's still a rat and flattens, but Pichu's extra hard to hit, whereas Pikachu's just hard to hit.
Yeah,
sorry, I'm back.
Hello.
No, you're right. Pichu's still nigh upon impossible to play against, at least in my opinion. And anyone who does so effectively, I respect you to the fullest degree. But nevertheless, Mr.L sitting at 165%. This rat is hella hard to kill, apparently. And Petrikov gonna have to do a better job of finding that spot, finding that kill, and eventually does so, but at what cost? 97% on the board.
So by the way, Koopa, we definitely know who Mr.L is. I just didn't know he lived in New York.
Am I familiar with this person?
I mean, he's been playing Pikachu for a while, and I definitely have seen him. At least Smash 4 would see him towards the top end of results.
Yeah, I probably do. I'm going to look up a set right now just to get a name to the face.
Yeah, I knew I recognized it. You never know. Sometimes people have the same tags. You know what I mean? I don't know why I thought you lived nowhere near here, but anyways, yeah, he was pretty solid in Smash 4. I do remember. Never mind. This is a different Mr.L, so I was right. Sometimes people just have the same tags. Anyways.
Yeah, there's Captain L. There's
Captain L. That's who I was thinking of.
Well, yeah, Captain L is the Pikachu made from
bad.
So.
All right, well, you can see where that might be confusing. I just saw Pikachu and L, and I was like, oh.
Speaking of L's, this matchup is awful for Gung, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's so many ways Diddy gets, kind of gimped here. And
Pikachu has kind of been, the hard counter to feels like for years now, just because of how Pikachu is just so good at flexing his offstage presence, and Diddy Kong's recovery has always been the worst aspect about him. That was super dangerous.
Oh no!
Oh, the air dodge.
He had it under control for a second until the air dodge.
No, he kicked, so he couldn't have jumped.
Oh, he
anyway.
did kick.
Yeah.
I mean, because you can still barrel from under there. I mean, at least I've seen
yeah, he just can't. You just can't jump. That's the problem. So that's he was up shit creek without a panel right there.
Yeah, but it kind of seemed like that was a foregone conclusion, especially the pace that the game was taking at game number 1. Petrikov only really taking that first stock very late on, and never really garnered enough momentum to really threaten beyond that, or at least threaten the fact that he could, in fact, win. So I do kind of wonder how Petrikov will respond in this game number 2. It doesn't seem like he's going to be changing his character. I do wonder what sort of shift in tack he might be able to take, or if, again, I mean, just like so many of us, the Rat family just winds up being Petrikov's Achilles heel.
Yeah, well, that's it does sound like, and I'm getting plenty of info from the chat who's educating me. It's funny how many years I've watched games play Diddy. I don't know how the mechanics work, but you can't barrel after the jump kick, which is something I didn't know till right now. But yeah, so this is coming from Petrikov himself, and yeah, that is Diddy's worst matchup, I would think.
See, that makes sense because, again, it's not like the guy played badly in any sense of the word. It's just, I mean, Mr.L proved himself to be just a little too hard to hit.
Yeah, Pikachu literally turned into a pancake in between moves, so it do be like that. But we'll see here what Petrikov does. I have a feeling he might be like a tried and true Diddy main, but you never know.
Also, how cursed are locals in general, where we are literally social distancing and the players on set can still hear the commentators?
Yeah, sometimes you can't help it, man. This is usually the plague of locals, where I couldn't get the commentator's voice out of my head while you're trying to play, but...
Get out my head, Charles. Why are you watching a stream when you're playing anyway?
I would say that is the one thing, though, is like you could totally avoid it this time. There are times where you just can't avoid it, like in real life.
We're doing a fine job of minding our business. Cape Town and City game number 2.
Mind your own business.
Wow, no, look, quarantine's made me feisty, bro. I don't even know what to say at this point.
Ooh.
Oh, he's trying to read that forward smash, not quite making it.
Well, considering
it's coming up a little bit short.
Yeah, I mean, Diddy's recovery is kind of linear, so, you know, it's a reasonable thought process that maybe you might catch him there. But it looks like Petrikov maybe has been caught there before because wise enough to recover up high and now in a very manageable position.
All right. Ooh, okay, going a little bit crazy. Thunder right there.
Okay.
Yeah, there's just kind of a lot of skirting around right now. Again, this matchup is in neutral. Is not awful for Diddy. It's just pretty. I know James has even said it's like it's pretty boring. Like you have to play super late against Pikachu, just because if you mess up once, you're probably gonna die for it.
Ooh, yeah, this is not what you asked for. You got caught on the get up with the forward smash, and yeah, Mr.L has been trying to condition out those jumps. Eventually reads the neutral get up and makes Petrikov pay for it. That first stock.
Then making
Looking for
Pikachu
it again will not find such.
Then making Pikachu's down air spike was one of the worst decisions we could have ever made.
I mean, I think it's cool, but then again, I also don't whenever I have to play him.
It's like cool in concept, you know?
Yeah, it's like, oh, you're trying to make him more like Smash 64 Pikachu. Yeah, I get that. That's really neat. It's a neat little throwback to the game. And then you remember that literally you lost the stock anytime you lost advantage.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's then it becomes significantly less cool. And that's sad.
Yeah. So we see Mr.L running away with this game right now. So.
Well, eventually catches a errant dash, let's say, with an up smash.
Yep. So but the forward smash once again from the ledge.
Pikachu's moonwalking. Is that a moonwalk I just saw?
That's all right. No, Pikachu can crawl. So.
Yeah, it's true. Moon crawl. I don't. Okay, don't make me explain myself. Down air. I should.
Alexa, play the moon. Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is looking like curtains for Petrikov right now.
Yeah, just it's hard to come up with a concrete game plan, especially when Mr.L does not want to comply to it, and frankly, has no real reason to. So Petrikov, as valiant as play as we are seeing it from the man, yeah, that's going to be an up smash, and that's going to be the kill. Mr.L.
Yeah, that's gonna be all she wrote. So good stuff there from for Mr.L. He moves into top 8. That was still one of the last qualifier I think we had.
Yep, that was top 12. So we are going to see winners finals next, which will feature Beast versus Hydra.
Hell yeah, brother.
Can't say we blame him. No, that's